Thank you. Minister, I want to ask you your views on the Bank of Ireland selling off its mortgage loan book to Dilosk Limited, an unregulated company, and if you intend to stand idly by and allow this to happen, given the huge subsidy that was put into the banks by the taxpayers of this country, or if you will take action to prevent this happening.
Thank you, Deputy Number 4, Minister.
It is important in answering the Deputy's question to provide the background as to why Bank of Ireland has agreed to sell 250 million of the SES loan book to Dilosk Limited. In July 2013, Bank of Ireland agreed an amendment to its reconstruction plan, which has been agreed with the European Commission in respect of state aid received by that bank. This allows the bank to retain its life assurance subsidiary, New Ireland. As part of this amendment, the bank committed to certain substitution measures, including the sale of ICS distribution platform, together with, as the option of the acquirer of the platform, up to 1 billion of mortgage assets and a similar quantum of matching deposits. The purpose of the SES substitution measure is to support new entrants to the Irish mortgage market, thereby increasing competition to the benefit of the consumer. As the Deputy is aware, the bank announced on the 26th of June that it had agreed to sell the distribution platform together with 250 million of mortgage assets at par to Dilosk Limited. No deposits are transferring as part of this sale. Dilosk is an Irish financial service company headquartered in Dublin, which plans to grow its mortgage business in Ireland by offering new residential mortgage loans. According to its website, Dilosk will offer mortgages to borrowers seeking to purchase or refinance residential property, with a particular focus on residential investment properties, that is buy-to-let. The ICS sale is the final divestment commitment to be completed by the Bank of Ireland in its EU restructuring plan. Given the reduced numbers of lenders now operating in the mortgage market, this transaction is to be welcomed as it introduces a new entrant and should therefore contribute to greater competition.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy Ruth Coppinger.
Minister, I'm wondering why the bank is selling loans that are performing perfectly well, and I find it very alarming that this is happening and that no action has been taken to prevent it. Dilosk says on its site that it has quote, a focus on residential investment property, i.e. buy-to-lets. So it isn't the case that it's focusing on just ordinary residential lending, it's investment lending. Now, the bank shareholders and the bondholders were underwritten by the ordinary people of this country who've paid a heavy toll for the last 6 years. But now it seems ordinary mortgage holders are to be moved into the unregulated sector, which Dilosk operates in at the moment. There have been accusations that your department gave advance warning to the banks to sell mortgages now, a year ahead of new EU laws to force buyers of loan books to observe much stricter codes, and I wonder if you'd comment on that.
Thank you, Deputy Minister.
No, this is part of the restructuring of Bank of Ireland, which was agreed with the European Commission several years ago, and it's the last piece of it that's now being put in place. And it's not a move of a mortgage book into the unregulated sector. As the Dilosk has said on its website, it has confirmed that it has applied for authorisation from the Central Bank in Ireland to a retail credit firm and getting the authorisation from the Central Bank to operate. In addition to this, Dilosk Limited has confirmed that it intends to comply with all the relevant regulatory codes applicable to mortgage lending, including the Code of Conduct for Mortgage Arrears. So it's a transfer of ownership of a mortgage book to the value of 250 million. But it shouldn't affect the holders of the mortgagees in any way whatsoever. They just trade away at the terms under their contract, and it is regulated by the Central Bank.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Coppinger.
Took out those mortgages with the ICS Building Society. Now, building societies were seen by people at that time to be safe and secure places. Now they're going to be with a company that we know little or nothing about. Now, you seem hell-bent on increasing competition in this sector, subprime lenders who are operating in the sector, they were brought in with the same reason: we must increase competition. And now look what they've done to people in this country. Of many constituents that are suffering because of companies like Start, Springboard, charging exorbitant rates. Now they're selling their mortgages to vulture funds like Oaktree, Lone Star. Other sales have taken place to Pepper, Tanager. Is this what you mean by competition? Those lenders should have been outlawed long ago. Their books should have been taken over by the state. And in fact, the banks generally should have been taken over by the state and run in the public interest, not in the interest of the bondholders. Now we're seeing the impact of leaving the banks in private hands. They should have been nationalised under democratic control, accountable to consumers and those who work in them.
Thank you, Deputy Minister.
But the banks haven't been left in private hands. The banks have been taken over by the state. AIB is 99% owned by the state. Bank of Ireland is 14% owned by the state. And Permanent TSB is 99-100% owned by the state. And the reason why building societies were taken over by the state was because they went bust. And they were taken over to protect the people who were doing business with the building societies, including the people who had mortgages there. So, you know, what you're saying simply doesn't correspond with the facts of the situation. And anything that has happened here is in the interest of the people who have mortgages. And that's the situation.
Now go on to other questions. Deputy Pearce Doherty is